just cut the wire and then we'll put the new lights in.
I think we finished the sanding. We sanded every surface that was covered in that laminate light oak finish with a combination of the electric Black & Decker sander with P60 sanding sheets. We've gone through about 100. And then finishing off in all the little gaps and things with your trusty P120 slightly finer roll of sandpaper.
We finished off sanding, so everything kind of was right back to the grain. So we'll have a good surface area to then put the primer on. We just got some Ronseal primer, a couple of rollers, and set about starting to put the primer on to all of the surfaces that we're going to then paint. So yeah, yesterday was quite a busy day. We finished the sanding, started the primer work, and we nearly got all the primer done. We just kind of lost a lot of the light, so you can see we kind of got to from here to here. So task number 1 today, complete primer coat. Good afternoon. So we finished off doing the primer, so you can see, primed. And then we undertook the mammoth task of then taping off everything that we could. So we've got loads of newspaper around on the floor, and then yeah, we've taped off lots of bits like near the ceiling, all that kind of thing, so we really can just slosh on the paint. What is the paint, I hear you say? It is this paint here. Well, in the majority. So we're going to do the white bits that. And just keep going today until the light fades, basically. Morning, Luna. It's glowing.
It is. It looks good. Ah.
It's getting there, isn't it? Certainly the bits that we have done a few coats on,
Yeah.
like, that might not need that much more. It might just be the edges.
It's just the gaps in it and opening
Opening
here.
up.
Mint.
Oh, well.
What are you going to start with today?
Blue.
Blue.
Da-da-dee.
Da-da-da. Thanks very much for your time.
Bye-bye now. So we've got the black paint out, but not just black paint, it is chalkboard paint. So the idea is that on the fridge we'll be able to write little messages or shopping lists or anything like that. So I think that should be pretty cool once it's done. So just on coat number 1, and then we'll do a second coat, I think, and it should be just about there.
So we spent a good day putting on the finishing lacquer on the white paint, and the white paint was pretty good, pristine I'd say. And we'll put 1 coat of furniture lacquer on top to try and make it a bit more durable, wash-proof, scratch-proof. And what happened?
Come back in today and we were sort of hoping we'd just be putting the finishings in and stuff, and Yeah, the paint's flaked. Like the lacquer hasn't taken to it, so not entirely sure.
Thinking of putting even just another coat of lacquer on, but that's like
it won't take.
Peeled back to the sort of bottom coats, hasn't it?
Has it?
Yeah, there. But they're lovely. They're lovely. They're not lovely.
So we had the painful experience of having to sand the wood back and once more paint again with emulsion, which was a little bit heartbreaking when we thought that we'd finished doing all of the painting. So I had yesterday off work, so I took the time out and sanded everything back down, tidied everything up, started painting again, tidied everything up, and then I had to do a second round of touch-ups yesterday, so I took 2 more further coats on top of getting all the lacquer off. So, but pleased to say we've just done a little inspection around now and the paint does look like it's covered and you can't see any shiny lacquer anymore, so hurrah, painting complete. And then we might actually get some soft furnishings in, so we've got the curtains which we had originally, so I think they're fine to put back up.
So one of the things we did when we thought we'd finished painting was to replace the lights that we did have in here. We had 4 of these and none of them worked. They were in various different stages of brokenness. None of them had a switch. That is part of the switch of one of them. Some were smashed. They just weren't fit for purpose. And they're the old halogen bulbs, so they were probably like rinsing the electricity. So we got ourselves 4 new LED 12 volt chrome lights with switch, and we cut the wiring that were previously along the lights, and we were left with 1 brown wire and 1 blue wire. So with a bit of wrapping together and some electrical tape, we managed to fit 4 brand new lights into the Caravan.
We also had the main light to hook up as well, so that was a little bit more of a drama. So the Caravan runs on 240 volts from your mains electric, but it also has a 12 volt battery. So part of the electricity circuit is hooked up to the 12 volt and part is hooked up to the 240. So we thought that the lighting would be hooked up to the 240 and we purchased lights which would only work on 240. Well, the inevitable happened and it is hooked up to the 12 volt. Right, so the red went the wrong way around, didn't it?
I think the red goes to the white, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was the wrong way round what I'd been doing it. We have a light here which now works, but it's not the original light that we wanted to be in there. It's one of the strip lighting. So discovery in that we can't put 240 volts on here because the lighting doesn't run off the mains, it runs off the 12 volt. We've now put a 12 volt light on the end there and it's working. It's starting to feel a lot more functional, and I think getting the lights sorted out was just a nice one to tick off, really. So super happy and super proud I've got some awesome little lights going on now, so yeah, winning.